Recording in progress.
Okay, Charlie's ready. I'd like to call this Dickson County Planning Commission meeting to order, May 12th, 2020. Mr. Comer, would you give devotion, please, sir?
Certainly will. Gentlemen, if you please remove your hats and pray with me. Great and glorious God, Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. We ask that you be with us to guide us in wisdom as we administer the government of our county for the benefit of the people who live here. We ask that you bless and keep all the members and citizens that are here tonight and help us give our best for the duties that we are about to discharge. We also ask that in the month of Memorial Day that you remember not only those who have served and made the ultimate sacrifice, but their families who also made a great sacrifice on behalf of our nation. We ask this through your love. Amen.
Amen. Mr. Darnell, would you call roll, please, sir?
Todd Berry, Tina Ferris,
Here.
Darren Green,
Here.
Mike Pilkington, here. Robert Qualls,
Here.
David Brogdon,
Here.
Shane Chandler,
Here.
Gary Peeler, Christy Sullivan,
Here.
Beth Garrett,
Here.
Robert Comer. Here. Mr. Chairman, we do have a quorum.
Thank you, sir. And at this time, I would like to recognize all visitors in the crowd. And if you did not sign in, would you please do so? There should be a sign in. Okay. And then I would like to ask everybody, please check your phone, make sure it's silenced. We'll move into the approval of the previous minutes. Has everybody looked over their previous minutes?
Mr. Chairman, there is one thing I'd kind of like. I really think there on the heading, those of us that are commissioners really probably need to be broken out separately than staff members. That's two separate offices. But other than that, I find with that small nitpick, I find nothing objectionable about the minutes. Think they're a very fair representation of last month's meeting and would move and approve the approval.
I have a proper motion by Robert Qualls with the correction to the staff minutes. Have a proper second by David Brogdon. Any further discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed? Okay, passes. We'll move into the items. We got item number 1, preliminary plat for Promise Land Road subdivision, tax map 57, parcel 2.04, 8.88 acres, Promise Land Road and Herd Road, Charlotte, Tennessee, A1 Agriculture, 4th District.
Okay, this was surveyed by Christie Surveying to create 6 new lots. This area is serviced by the Water Authority of Dickson County. I did receive an email from Michael Rogers stating there is a 6-inch water line on Promised Land Road, and it will be able to service the development along with the new fire hydrant that will be required. You will also notice on the plat on lots 5 and 6, there's an Amoco gas transmission line and easement. One of the handouts tonight, you can see Mr. Christie has reached out to them. You have a copy of their correspondence to proceed following their plan of action. Phelan?
So there are just a couple of little comments remaining on this plat that include, we've requested that they clear up the like zoom on the vicinity map so that the street names and things are legible. Also have asked for the soils area to be used for any private sewage disposal to be included. And this plat does include all the signature blocks for our final plat. So we'd ask just remove the final plat signature blocks and include the preliminary plat signature block instead, and that just makes it clear which kind of plat it is. And then, as always, the signature of the planning secretary is required after approval.
Thank you, ma'am. This is the 4th District. This would be Mr. Pilkington's district.
I got no problem with that. Is that the old gas line or the new gas line they're putting in?
It'd be the old one,
Okay, I know where it's at.
but
now.
it's a subdivision
Yeah,
along that route.
yeah. Okay.
Is that in the form of a motion, sir?
Yeah,
With staff comments or without?
with staff's comments.
Okay, I have a proper motion by Mac Pilkington to approve this preliminary plat of the Promised Land Road subdivision with staff comments. Do I have a second? Have a second by Christie Sullivan. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. We'll move into item number 2, preliminary plat for Clifton Valley subdivision, tax map 128, parcel 37.00, 16.10 acres, East Piney Road, Dickson, Tennessee, A1 Agriculture, 2nd District.
Okay, this was surveyed by the XL Land Company to create 13 new lots. Lot 1 was platted and approved administratively back in April. You do have a copy of that, one of your additional handouts tonight. There is a 6-inch water line that fronts East Piney Road to service the development, but currently no fire hydrants are there. One will be required to serve the lots along East Piney, and one will also be required at the end of the cul-de-sac. The highway department will also require that the water line that you see in the cul-de-sac needs to go around it and not under the pavement. If not, they will not be able to sign off on it. The new road, which will have a 50-foot right-of-way, will be 20-foot wide surface paved area with 2 4-foot shoulders. And also they have to figure out a location for the centralized mailbox cluster, and that it had to be determined for the final plat. Keelan?
So I do have a revised version of the plat here that has addressed the large majority of the comments that are on the staff comments. The only 2 that are remaining is we've asked that they please show the soil area for the private septic systems, as well as removing the final signature blocks.
Thank you. This is,
I'd like to address this. We never do soil area on preliminary, and
Right.
that'll be addressed on the final.
Right. Yeah, I've talked to her about that. yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Usually it's just the topos, that way they can see it, and, like I explained, it cost a factor based on if it's approved or not, then they come in and soils map it. And
Okay.
basically the same way with all the signature blocks, they use the same template, just as a cost-saving measure.
And that's fine if there's no concerns about the soils in each lot perking, then that's not an issue. We can see that on the final plat.
What we'll see sometimes, if it doesn't perk, you'll see when they come back on a final, you'll have some they have to combine together. And that's fairly common.
Right. That's just something we would want to
Correct.
catch early, but
okay, this is the 2nd District. This would be Ms. Ferris's district.
Okay. I move to approve with the staff comments and the expectation that the changes will be made.
Okay, we have a proper motion to approve the preliminary plat of the Clifton Valley subdivision with staff comments. Do I have
Second.
a second? Have a second by Robert Comer. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor state aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, we'll move into item number 3, the rezoning request for the Adcox property. It's tax map 119, parcels 89.00, 89.02, 04, 05, and 90.05, 69 acres, Highway 96, Burns, Tennessee, from A1 Agriculture to C2 Commercial, 6th District.
Okay, this is a rezoning request from Adcock Properties to rezone 69 acres with a total of 145 from A1 to C2. They are the current owners of on-site workshops here in Cumberland Furnace. I don't know how many of you are familiar with that. What they would like to do is open a second location to expand its emotional wellness programs. All remaining A1 property will be used as a nature preserve in its natural state with park-like green space area. It was surveyed by James and Associates with the traffic assessment by Kimley Horn. There is a 10-inch water line that runs down Highway 96. At this time, there is no sewer. I don't know if you're going to plan on extending the sewer.
There is sewer on it.
There is sewer on 96.
thought
Do you
there
plan on
was sewer.
extending it to the development? Do you plan on extending it to the development?
Of course,
Yes, okay, do expand on doing that. Keelan, and they are here, I think you have a presentation to give to. if Keelan has any comments first.
I don't have any comments. I've included in the staff comments, just the current A1 district description, as well as the general commercial C2 description, with the note of the minimum lot sizes. So it sounds like with public water and sewer, there is no minimum lot size. So not that that was really a concern with 145 acres.
All right. Whoever would like to present, please come up.
I'm Miles Adcox, the owner of Onsite and the proud owner of this new farm that I'm really excited about. And my history, I grew up in Hornwall, Tennessee, but I feel like I kind of grew up in Dickson too, because some of my earliest memories were climbing on the tanks at A&R Tire, if anybody remembers that. My father and George Reniger were partners, and we spent a lot of time in this county, and we've done business in this county for a long time. And I was really excited when I had an opportunity to buy a business out here, and Cumberland Furnace has kind of become a second home for me. And we're proud of what we've done in Cumberland Furnace. We've been able to, you can travel all over the country and even in London and different parts of the world, and people will know Cumberland Furnace, Tennessee. So we've done quite a bit to bring some good exposure and some jobs into the community. Not to mention our mission is just is changing lives. Every day we show up in the service of other people, and especially those that have gone through adverse life circumstances, but also those that are looking to just grow themselves in leadership or in their relationships. And we've got an array of services, and we've been fortunate to be able to grow our brand and grow our business. And it was really important to me when we started looking at growth opportunities to stay in Dickson. I love Dickson County. We've had some other opportunities over the last several years to look at farms in different parts of the state, but I'm very picky because I do get an opportunity to run the business that I get to run, which you heard a little bit about. But at the end of the day, I believe I'm as much a conservationist as I am an entrepreneur. I love land, and I'm obsessed with it. And you'll see if you ever get a chance to come to our property just how much we care about it. I know just about every tree on that property, and we try to preserve green space. You know, it's as I said, I'm pretty obsessed, and we keep. So we'll do the same thing here. The minute I stepped onto this property, I recognized the love and care that had gone into it from Mr. Beasley and his family over the years, and I really want to honor that legacy. When you walk on that place, you'll just see how beautiful it is. And I know there's been a lot of great development in Burns, and you know, we just want to continue to be good stewards of Dickson County, and take this place and do something really special with it. But I want to assure that even though we're going to build this, we hope to build this business there, the land is what sold me on this place, and I intend to preserve it at all costs. I just want it to be a beautiful representation of what we do. We're fortunate to have a lot of eyes on us across the country. We've had a lot of media check, you know, do different things, and I think that's just going to continue. Our demand is up significantly. And it's important, I think, to hear, because I know there's some other rehabilitative type services in Dickson County. And ours is a little different. We've carved out a little bit of a niche and have a good reputation, I believe, in the county, but also countrywide at just operating a really good business, doing it in a sound way, and taking care of our clients, you know, to the best ability that we can. I don't think we've ever had any issues in Dickson County in terms of, you know, sometimes services like ours can be misunderstood and get a bad rap because of what it is that we do and who we treat, and because of the way we've positioned ourselves in the market, who we support, we've never had to deal with any of that. We employ a lot of people from Dickson County, and Cumberland Furnace, I've got some of my neighbors here that have been here from day one, and they've just been great neighbors, and I just invited two that I care about, but I could have invited all my neighbors because I think they'll all be in support of how we've shown up as neighbors. And I've since gone and met some of my new neighbors in Burns, and they're excited too. So I think we have a real opportunity to do something special for Dickson County, and I'm just really excited about it. I could give you a whole lot more. I think some of it's in the packet, but just for time purposes, I'll just open it up if you have any questions. Happy to take a seat. You can. I've got several guests here that are representing me and what we do. I could talk about it all day because I'm really passionate about what I get an opportunity to do. I'm really passionate about Dickson County, and I'm really passionate about this new farm in Burns, Tennessee. So I hope you guys will join me in helping us create something special. But thanks for your time. Do you want me to stay up here for questions, or? If there are.
We have any questions? If not, I'd like to add a comment. As previously representing the 3rd District as County Commissioner, I have toured the on-site facilities several times through my day job and as a County Commissioner in the Christmas time. And I feel like personally they've been great neighbors and done great things with that location. And through leadership Dickson County, we've toured it numerous times. My personal opinion, I think this is a win-win for Dickson County. That's just my personal opinion.
Thanks for mentioning that. There is a historic home on our property that some of you may be aware of, Juilliard House. It goes, that little church on the picture there is right at the bottom of our hill. So we've got such a legacy and history. We're just going through another renovation that we can't wait for leadership Dickson to come tour once we're finished with it. But we also have poured into the community of Cumberland Furnace too. There's a little iron museum there that we're going to cover all the energy bills and water bills for the remaining of the year so they can get it open back up. They had to close it during the pandemic, just lack of funding. So we stepped in and agreed to support them so they can get that open back up. And we repainted the playground at the community center, and we want to do the same thing in Burns.
Yes, sir, Mr. Brogdon.
When I saw this come up, I thought at first it was the city of Burns. Tom, I thought you were in the city of Burns all these years, and realized it wasn't. And some of you know, I will go out in the community and try to talk it up and say, you know, what do you know about it? I've not got anything that was a negative at all. Everything has been very positive. And being in the 6th district, and I'm going to move that we accept this rezoning request and bump it on up to the county commission.
Okay. I have a motion by David Brogdon to approve this request, and then I have a second by Beth Garrett. This rezoning, we'll have to do a roll call vote.
Before we do that, can I put some
Yes,
comments
would
in
you
the record?
please
Thank
add
you.
comment, please?
Just in terms of discussion, first of all, I'd like to applaud the applicant for a very innovative way of designing this site to preserve agricultural zoning as well as the woods and the acreage. It's the kind of creative approach that those of us that care about rural ag protection, when we look at a zone change, we can see that there's a real concern there, so we applaud you for that. One of the things I would like you to consider, I'm not going to require it of you, I can't require it of you, but as you become stewards of the forested area, look for restoration opportunities, the eradication of invasive species, opportunities to bring that forest back to its native. I don't know what the condition of the forest is, but if it's like most of the forests around here, including the ones I own, there's a bit amount of work to do to make sure that they are properly cared for, and I hope you will do that. The other thing I wanted to say is that I'm going to vote to support this zone change, but I want to say on the record that supporting this zone change does not create a precedent, because this is a very unique application. It's a unique site. It's a unique application because it carves out just the portion that it needs to be C2 in order to do the use that's intended. And had it been a more traditional zone change, I would require a lot more information than we have here. And we don't have specific guidelines in the county that says you have to give us all these things. So you end up in the unenviable position of coming before us, and then I lay all this stuff on you, saying I need this, I need that, I need this. A traditional zone change, I would do that. But I'm not going to do that here because I don't think it's necessary here. But I just want to make a point that doesn't mean I won't do it the next time, all right? The last thing I want to say is I'd like to applaud the traffic assessment. We didn't have traffic study guidelines in the county until recently. And we particularly required traffic assessments for all zone change. I studied the traffic assessment. I think it's excellent. I really like the pie chart. That's something I haven't seen a lot in traffic assessments. Pie chart shows us in one quick way what is the capacity of the road and what is the impact of the trips generated by this project. It's a really solid piece of work. I can stand by it, and for those reasons, I'll support this.
Okay. Any further discussion?
I'd just like to say that I don't have any disinclination to this project because of the exemplary way Mr. Adcox has handled what he's already doing here in Dickson County. And I would also be inclined, under other circumstances, to say I think we need a lot more, but I don't think we need any more than this because of who it is and because of what he's trying to do and what he represents. And I'm going to vote in favor of the zoning change when you call my name.
Okay. Well, with that being said, I will echo what you and Mr. Comer said, Mr. Qualls, and, like I say, through the years, I have been very familiar with on-site, and I think it is a great use and preservation of historical property, and I think this is very fitting for the county. So with that, I'm gonna ask Mr. Darnell to do a roll call, and if we could, to be fair, we'll invert the roll call and start with District 12.
Robert Comer,
Aye.
Beth Garrett, Christy Sullivan, Shane Chandler,
Aye.
David Brogdon,
Aye.
Robert Qualls,
Aye.
Mike Pilkington, Darren Green,
Aye.
Tina Ferris.
Aye.
And I think if any of the commissioners wanted to come down and to come look from Furnace, you wouldn't care if they come down, you could show them around. We'd like them to do that.
Anybody can come visit.
Yeah, we've been down there several times till they've added on. It's quite a nice place.
Love to talk to you more about the preservation, forest preservation. If you've got some thoughts, I'd love to hear yours. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, that concludes the regular business. We'll move into other business. Item number one, we've actually got two items, but item number one is gonna be Titan Partners Road Bond Renewal.
Yes, you'll see in the handouts tonight, you've got a copy of the original bond and another, where they would like to lower it. Basically what it is, it's time for them to renew it. The original, bond was set for $4,077,000. And you'll see that was split up between widening of 2 Mile Road plus the extension of it. Eubanks Paving, they had the contract now to widen 2 Mile. They've already posted their own construction bond for a little more than $2.4 million. So basically that leaves the extension road at a little over $1.6 million. That's what Titan Partners is asking you to reduce theirs to, they only have to be responsible for that much since Eubanks has already posted the other. We've talked to the highway department about this. They have no issues with this, but it will require a vote in order to reduce the bond. But when it's all said and done, the amounts will be the same as what they currently are.
A question, Mr. Darnell. So the combination of the Eubank bond with what would the reduced Titan bond would be about $84 more than the original bond?
Correct.
All right. And you're satisfied that the Eubank posted bond meets all our requirements?
It
and
does.
we can
Yes.
rely on it 100%?
Eubanks does a lot of work here in the county. I think most people are familiar with them. And
All right.
What's the will of the commission?
I'll move for the reduction be approved.
Okay, have a motion by David Brogdon to readjust the bond for
Second.
Titan Partners.
Second.
Have a second by R.J. Comer. Any further discussion? You want to roll call this, or?
we can.
Yeah, we'll start the right direction now.
Tina Ferris,
Aye.
Darren Green, Mike Pilkington, Robert Qualls,
Aye.
David Brogdon,
Aye.
Shane Chandler,
Aye.
Christy Sullivan, Beth Garrett, Robert Comer.
Aye.
Passes. Okay, we have another item. This is gonna be a update on the ad hoc committee, and Mr. R.J. Comer will present.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just very briefly, I wanted to remind everyone that when the rural ag protection package that we passed went to county commission, they neither approved nor denied it, but what they did do is form an ad hoc committee to study it and review it. That ad hoc committee is chaired by Commissioner Danny Williams. We meet once a month on the fourth Tuesday of each month. We had our first meeting last month. All the committee members attended. And what I wanted to share with the commission is what's really going on in that committee is we are looking at the rural ag protection from a stakeholder perspective, because we have stakeholders on the committee, we have planning commissioners on the committee, and we have county commissioners on the committee. And we're really looking at finding a way to come up with a consensus that we would be able to pass at the commission, pass on second reading here unless there's changes. And so the process that we're going through is the members of the committee are coming back this month with specific ideas that they would like to see changed in that package in order to get their support. And so what likely will result from that committee is, and what I hope will result from that committee, is some compromises on the agricultural package, but compromises that will result in a greater consensus to approve it. And I can't tell you what those changes will be, but we're going through that process now. The other thing that came up in the ad hoc committee was some ideas that we didn't consider here at the Planning Commission. So we're considering some other protections that were generated by the county commissioners on the committee. So you might see not only a revised ag package come back to us, but you might see some additional things in there that we didn't consider, we'll have to consider when they come back. So that's the process that's going on. If you want more details about what's going on in the ad hoc committee, you can always contact me or Commissioner Garrett or Commissioner Berry, who are the 3 planning commissioners on the committee.
Thank you, Mr. Comer. Excuse me. Anybody else have any other business?
You'd asked last month for an update on Volkert. At this time, we don't have a good update. I know Mayor Ryle and City Mayor Weiss are meeting with them next week to try to get this jump-started and get it done, because they originally were supposed to be done by November, and I'm not sure that's gonna happen.
And your best information is they haven't even started.
They have not started. I don't guess they've.
Did they
I don't
give
guess
a-
they've started anything
I
else.
think I need a bigger whip.
Did they give anything resembling a reason other than we ain't got around to it yet?
I don't have any other information on that. That's why they're meeting with them next week to try to see what's going on.
I can answer this. They have started. We've had one meeting, and they made some presentation. And after all the talk, I just said, you gotta get on it. So, and Mayor Weiss and Mayor Ryle and I talked about that today, so I think you'll see something next week.
Okay, anything else? If not, the next scheduled meeting will be Thursday, June the 9th, 2022, in the Booty Reed Commission Room, 7 o'clock. Motion to adjourn.